NBC Sports Group.
Kratz at third. That's the guy that matters. Line drive toward left field. Braun coming in. Kratz tags. Braun has it. Throws to the plate. The Phillies are going to win it. They scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they win it by a final score of 7-6 on Ty Wigginton's sacrifice fly to left field. How about that? Boy, it's nice to see some smiles here at Citizens Bank Park. The last 2 ball games, the Phillies waited till their final at-bat to add some excitement to the game as they picked up victories in their final AB, including last night against the Brewers. Now tonight, it's Game 2 of a 3-game series here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Heck of a pitching matchup going on tonight between the Phils and the Milwaukee Brewers. But first, before we talk about Zach Greinke, the starter for the Brewers, let's talk about last night's ball game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was great, Tom, the way you called that at the end and about the smiles and all, because we had smiles up here, too, because that was a great way to end that game. And anytime you get a 9th inning rally like that, there's usually little things involved, and many times it starts with a walk. How many times do you see a leadoff walk in a game like that, get it all going? And for whatever reason, who knows? Jimmy Rollins, great at bat walk. Juan Pierre, he hooks a changeup into the hole, and all of a sudden, starting to get interesting. 3-2 breaking ball, great at bat by Chase Utley. 0-2 to Ryan Howard, gets a fastball, hits it up the middle, beats the overshift, and all of a sudden, Phils have a couple runs on the board. Great base running on that play by Chase Utley. Here comes Carlos Ruiz. He hammers a breaking ball into left field, and the game is now tied. 2 men on base. Good at bat by Hunter Pence. A lot of breaking balls away. The fish weren't biting. And then here comes Ty Wigginton. Line drive to left field. Braun does all he can do is throw sails. Eric Kratz, the pinch runner, comes belly flopping home. And the Phillies had a heck of a win. That was fun to watch.
It was a heck of a victory as they scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, so they win on Sunday. They win yesterday, and now the Phils, well, tonight they'll have to deal with Zach Greinke. Poor Cliff Lee. Last week it was Clayton Kershaw that was his opponent, and tonight it's another Cy Young Award winner, former Cy Young Award winner, in Zach Greinke.
Oh, this guy can be really good, especially at home, but he's not at home tonight. He's undefeated at Miller Park in the 2 years that he's been with the Brewers. But here's a flashback. Look at this. All the way back to the first year of this ballpark. He looked like the bat boy that night. See him strike out Jim Thome, strike out Pat Burrell, real good curveballs. And that's what he has. He has excellent stuff. He'll throw 91 to 95. Here he is this season. Guy has all the pitches. He's a very good athlete, and he can do a lot of things on the mound. In fact, right now there's some talk that he could be traded before the trading deadline. A comebacker to him. He can really mix his stuff up, though. He has a good slider, hard breaking ball there, as you see. Also curveball, changeup, and as I mentioned, an above-average fastball that he can spot. So when you face Zach Greinke, you don't know. You could really be in for a tough time. See, his 7 seasons with Kansas City, his 1 loss not so great. His ERA is under 4 in the American League. They were not very good teams he was pitching on. Conversely, the Brewers, especially last year, good team. And look at his 1 loss, and as we mentioned, 15-0 at Miller Park this year. So this guy's one of the best pitchers in baseball, so we'll see what we get here tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when a starting pitcher gets a little offense. That's what happened with Zach Greinke in last season for the Milwaukee Brewers. So it will be Greinke on the mound tonight for Milwaukee. He'll be opposed by left-hander Cliff Lee, who again is looking for his 2nd win of the season. It'll be his 17th start of the year. How about the Phillies bullpen? Much maligned for most of this year. The last couple of days, well, they've done their job. They did their job last night when it was needed. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch for tonight's ball game. Phillies baseball. Is good. It was about 97 degrees earlier today when the teams were taking batting practice, and it's starting to cool off a little bit. The Phillies are just about ready to take the field, and here they come behind their left-hander Cliff Lee, who will be taking the mound tonight against another former Cy Young Award winner in Zach Greinke. Let's take a look at the Brewers starting lineup for tonight. As you see Lee, it's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in right field is Nori Aoki. Carlos Gomez, he had a big night last night. He'll bat second. Ryan Braun hits third, followed by Aramis Ramirez, the cleanup batter. Corey Hart is at first base. He'll bat fifth. Ricky Weeks, sixth. Martin Maldonado, the catcher, will bat seventh. Cesar Torres is at shortstop once again. He'll hit eighth. And batting ninth and pitching, for the first time in 11 days, is right-hander Zach Greinke. And he'll face left-hander Cliff Lee, 1-6 with a 3.72 earned run average. Strikeouts per innings pitched still pretty good.
Yeah, coming off a real good outing last Wednesday, the final game of that road trip at Dodger Stadium, where he pitched to a no decision. Only gave up the one run on a ball that probably should have been caught to turn into a home run. So, you know, he's had a lot of rest. We'll see what that does for him tonight. Here's our scouting report on Cliff Lee. That thing in the middle is kind of interesting because we've been talking about it. Seems like he has trouble in the stretch. Well, he does. 327 average for opponents against him in the stretch, and only 216 when he's out of the windup.
Lifetime 0-1 with a 4.74 earned run average against the Milwaukee Brewers, and this should be a pretty comfortable night for him to pitch.
Oh yeah, you know, Cliff Lee he only has one way of doing things. Everything's fast. You know, he goes out there and he just tries to get everything done in a hurry. Throws strikes, throws the highest percentage of first pitch strikes in the league, over 70%. Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. Tom said it's really getting nice here all of a sudden. Wind really blowing out all of a sudden to right and right center. Well, let's see if Cliff Lee can pitch well tonight, the team play well, and how about that second win? But he has a tough opponent tonight, and Zach Greinke, this guy can be really good.
Well, he's just about done with his warm-up tosses and getting set to face Nori Aoki. You see how the flags are coming in from center field. Flags still at a half-mast because of the tragic shooting that took place outside Denver, Colorado, at the movie theater several days ago.
Yeah, hitters are going to get some help tonight when the ball's hit towards right and right center, because all of a sudden that wind, the humidity's gone down. It's coming out of the northwest, and it's at a pretty good clip.
Phillies try to win 3 straight here at Citizens Bank Park. Get this, for just the second time this year.
Oh, winning a series here.
That would be a good thing, too.
It's been a while.
Aoki was 1 for 5 in last night's ball game, and he takes a pitch down low. We're underway, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Aoki overall hitting .284 with 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in. It's that one the opposite way and just past Ty Wigginton to the third. So Aoki is aboard with a leadoff single. Placido Polanco, who did not play last night over at third, not in action again tonight. He had an MRI today on his stiff back, his sore back. We have not heard the results of that MRI. If we do, we'll let you know. So that's why Wigginton is making the start over at third again.
Yeah, and that guy bunts, or there's a threat for a bunt, and that's why Wigginton was so far up. And that gives a hitter a lot of room to slap a ball by. You see Juan Pierre do that every once in a while.
Carlos Gomez, who last night was 2 for 2 with 3 runs and 3 RBIs. Overall, a 242 hitter with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, and he was late on a fastball, and it's 0-1. He does have a home run against Cliff Lee in his career. He has 5 hits overall. Oh, and 1 the count. On the outside corner, 0-2. Away. Life on those 2 fastballs.
Yeah, and both fastballs away, no cutters. And you know, Cliff Lee does throw a lot of fastballs and cutters. He'll throw changeup and curveball, but he's a fastball cutter guy.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Just missed, a tad low, 1-2. Brian Onora is the home plate umpire tonight. The crew chief Tom Hallion is over at third. Alfonso Marquez at second, and Chad Fairchild around at first. Aoki has stolen 11 bases. He's been caught 3 times. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Popped him up. Playable on the left side. Ruiz off with the mask. Wigginton's calling him off. And there's 1 away.
Cutter, and he got him jammed him. Carlos didn't see that for a while. In fact, he had his hands up in the air, I think, like, I don't know where that is. I need some help. Wigginton did a really good job of just coming hard the whole time and taking charge of the play. Watch, I think you're going to see Carlos Ruiz get a little bit helpless on this one. Look, he looks up. Lee's pointing to it. Say, you don't know where it is. And it's like, okay, I hear somebody coming. Good, I'm going to get out of here because I don't know where the ball is.
And Wigginton was hustled all the way because he was back, so he had a long way to go to come get that ball. Now with 1 out, here's Ryan Braun.
So Carlos laughing a little bit when he went back down there. What a helpless feeling that is.
Braun was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game with an RBI. Pretty good numbers against left-handers. You would expect, though, his numbers would be better. I mean, 295.
What you have to be careful with this guy is he can really hammer pitches away to right and right center. And, you know, Lee starts him out away. You would think with Braun, with the tremendous power that he has, you don't want to come in on him that much. But sometimes I think you almost have to cut a ball in on him, make him aware in there, because he'll dive out and kill you away.
Well, he came back inside and he missed with a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And no part of ballparks can hold Ryan Braun. He is really strong.
Well, Wheels, that's what we're talking about the surprise that he's just at 295. Now, 295 is nothing to sneeze about. But for his career against lefties, Braun is a .336 hitter. And that was a cutter from Cliff Lee. 1-2 the count.
And normally you think with a guy this strong and a power hitter that you want to stay away from middle end to him. And you don't want to necessarily get it on the middle part of the plate. But I think you can get him out inside sometimes a little easier than getting him out away, especially with 2 strikes because he has such great plate coverage.
Phillies infield is at double play depth.
Ryan Nor has that way of umpiring, and you have to get used to it because he makes a motion sometimes with his left hand that it's inside, and for a split second you think it's a strike. It's the right hand that counts.
He kind of turns his upper body a little bit too.
Puts that left hand down.
I think it's just a nervous tick or just a tick.
And I mean, that's just the way he calls balls and strikes.
2-2 the count to Braun. Hit hard through the hole on the left side, a base hit. So second hit of the inning for the Brewers. And up to second goes Aoki. 1 out. Runners on first and second, and Aramis Ramirez is walking to the plate.
Yeah, he got Lee last year in a game at Wrigley Field on a first ball fastball for a home run, and the odds are he will be swinging here with men on base at the first pitch.
Ramirez last night had 2 hits in 4 plate appearances. He had a double and a run scored. He also had an RBI.
There's some strange numbers when you look at it, though. 32 doubles, but only 56 RBIs. And that'd be one of those things we had to watch it all year to see. Does guy's not getting on in front of him? Does he get a lot of 2-out doubles? Does he get leadoff doubles and get straight? I don't know.
Well, the other part of it too is they have a lot of singles, so maybe their guys are at first and they just don't score.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss at a cutter. It's 0-1.
Boy, you just knew he was going to be Rip City there.
Aramis Ramirez for his career is 2 for 9 against Cliff. He does have a home run. Overall 222 against the left-hander.
And that was at Wrigley in that game we just mentioned last year. First pitch.
Fouls it away off to the right, out of play.
He's another guy who's pretty much an alleys hitter, and that's the way the Phillies play him, a little bit towards right center. You see right there, that's why he gets so many. When you see a guy with 32 doubles, that means they use the whole field. Because most of your doubles don't come down the lines, they come out in the alleys.
Well, Hunter Pence is trying to pinch toward the right center field gap just a little bit.
Like last night, he hit 2 balls right in that area.
Runners lead off first and second. The 0-2. Hit the opposite way. A base hit it to right field. Aoki's being waved home. Pence is up with it. Here's the throw to the plate on one hop. He is out at the plate. Yes, he is. 2 outs here in the first. Outfield assist number 9 for Hunter Pence, and Carlos Ruiz did a heck of a job hanging on.
Yeah, Noor took a long time there, but he was just trying to find the ball and make sure it was in Carlos Ruiz's glove. You know, you could tell that he felt that the play, that the throw and everything had beaten him, but I don't think he knew whether or not he had the ball, because watch how long he takes. Right there he makes the tag, and then Carlos, I guess he's kind of hiding it here when he falls down. He doesn't mean to. Now he's holding on. Now he has to show you. It's like they'll tell you, show it to me. And he gets it. Good plate block, too. Makes him slide right into the shin guard.
Well, a heck of a throw from Hunter Pence. A great block, textbook from Carlos Ruiz.
Gave him a good hop to handle, too. That's one a lot of times is a key to a play like that.
2 away here at the top of the first. Corey Hart, the hitter. He had a hit in last night's game. And Hart takes a pitch down low. It's 1-0. Corey Hart is a streaky hitter, has been his entire career, but he's had a pretty productive career.
Yeah, he's a low ball hitter. You know, look at the way he waggles the bat in his practice swings. Those guys that do that, those tall guys especially, and the ones that take their swings low, they're low ball hitters.
Well, hitting 5th tonight with 46 runs batted in. He does have a runner in scoring position in Braun, with Ramirez over at first.
See how low he takes those swings.
Base hit to left center field. That's going to get a run home. Braun's going to score easily from second. And just like that, the Brewers, who had a runner thrown out at first, now drive one at home. Now drive one home, and they take a 1-0 lead.
He's getting hurt in the middle of the plate a little bit. And that's Cliff Lee. Seen him enough. Everybody knows that when he's hitting his spots, he mows them down. When he doesn't, he gets hit.
Well, he still has a tough spot to work with here because there are runners on first and third.
But he does have a guy up that just is struggling so much. You know, you hope he can get out of this inning. Ricky Weeks keeps swinging through everything.
Ricky Weeks has struck out 114 times this year, which is the most for the Brewers, just ahead of Corey Hart. He's on pace to break his record of 184 back in 2010. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Brewers have talked about his lack of aggressiveness. He has seen more pitches per plate appearance this year than last year and the year before.
That's what we saw last night, is he took a lot of strikes and then he would have some wild swings of pitches out of the zone.
0-1 the count. 0-2 the count.
Those are 2 fastballs that are right there, and he takes them both. Good. Now you can play with him a little bit.
Ramirez over at third. Corey Hart over at first. 0-2 the count. And a curveball, a little high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is a 20-pitch inning so far for Cliff. Well, Doc had a long first inning last night. He wound up going 6. Ground ball to shortstop. Rollins to his right. He goes the short way, and the side is retired. The Brewers do score a run. They collect 4 hits in the inning. They leave 2 onto the bottom of the first. It's Milwaukee 1 and the Phillies coming up. ball game. The Brewers had the lead last night going into the 9th inning, and the Phils scored 4 runs to win it. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Shane Victorino bats second. Chase Utley hits third, and Ryan Howard again is the cleanup batter. Carlos Ruiz does the catching tonight, batting 5th. Hunter Pence hits 6th. And in the bottom third of Wigginton, Mayberry, and Lee. And the Brewers starting pitcher is 28-year-old right-hitter Zach Greinke. 9-3 overall this year, an earned run average of 3.57. He last started on the 13th of July. He's not hurt. They just figured that he needed an all-star break.
Stats remind you a little bit of Joe Blanton's, a little bit over hits per innings pitched, but he doesn't walk many. There's the scouting report on him. Yeah, he got thrown out of a game after, what, a third of an inning in a play at first base when he slammed the ball down a little bit. And the umpire threw him out, and they brought him back the next day.
Jimmy Rollins is ahead 1-0, make it 2-0. And then after the all-star break, he started the first game after the break for the Brewers. So he became the first pitcher since 1917, when Red Faber started 3 consecutive games, to start 3 straight games.
Who says you baby these guys?
There's a strike, and it's 2-1 to Rollins.
Well, that was just bizarre the way he got thrown out of that game for what he did. You know, when you saw the replay, it was a little chicken, something.
2-1 pitch to Rollins. Down the left field line, slicing. Braun on the run. He's going to get there, and he puts it away. That is a fair ball caught by Ryan Braun for the first out.
Getting a little greeting from a fan over there. You see him laugh about it. Ryan Braun has really improved out there. He struggled when he came up trying to play third base. Now, oh, that guy wants the ball. That's what it was.
And then when he didn't get it, maybe
who knows?
Threw some comments at it.
Yeah, but the outfielder right there, the pitcher just got a guy out with that baseball. He's not going to give it to a fan.
Shane Victorino had 1 at bat last night. He struck out and was hit by a pitch in that strikeout. That's why he's got the wrap on his right elbow. There's Tom Hallion, the crew chief. He asked for an appeal from Brian Honora, the first base umpire, who's behind the plate tonight. That ball's ripped down the right field line. If it's fair, it's extra bases. It's a fair ball. Takes a hop off the 330 sign. So Victorino will pull into second with a 1-out double.
Got something up and in there and just yanked it down the line. That's talking about Shane last night. It was a shame when he went out of that game because he's really picked it up lately, especially left-handed. See, he's getting the foot up and down a little bit better. His timing is better, and as a result, more extra base hits because he's driving the ball. Good play by right fielder Oki there to get into the corner and get that baby, get it back in.
And Shane is safe at second, safe and secure with New York Life. Shane said that he was hit by the pitch. He said he couldn't imagine that he was called out on strikes. He said there was no way he thought that he took a swing at that pitch last night.
No, and he didn't.
And Utley takes a strike to start this at bat. It's 0-1. Anyway, he said he came back to the plate, and Tom Hallion said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, the ball hit me." He said, "I didn't foul it. It hit me." He goes, "Well, then you're out." And that's when they appealed to Brian Honora, who said, "Yeah, a foul ball off the bat of Utley. It's 0-2." Here's that swing last night that was called a swing. It was a check swing.
Yeah, he checks here, and then the ball hit him. It just, hey, they got it wrong, and then he wound up caught out on that being a strikeout, as Tom said, and also had to leave the game because his elbow was bothering him.
Yeah, he said he was hit just below the elbow. And he said he felt fine today. He's got the wrap on, I guess, just to help it. A little compression wrap. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, gets away from the catcher Maldonado. Victorino goes to third. And it's a strikeout. Wild pitch to allow Victorino to move to third. 2 outs. And Ryan Howard is the hitter.
A lot of breaking balls here early in this game is Zach Greinke. Fastball, slider, he'll throw curveball and changeup. Cutter sometimes.
There's some that think this is the last start for Zach Greinke in a Brewers uniform. The trade deadline almost upon us. Zach Greinke's name has been floated around like a lot of players as possibly being dealt from Milwaukee. And we'll see. Same can be said for a lot of players. Ryan Howard fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1.
Victorino coming way down the line. He's probably not going anywhere, but they're playing off with Ramirez for Howard. And the advantage of that is he's bounced a couple already. If he bounces another one, it doesn't have to bounce that far away if he can get that big a lead because the third baseman's so far away.
Greinke does have 4 wild pitches. And there you go.
Yeah.
Maldonado keeps that breaking ball in front of him.
Ryan Howard's home run off Randy Wolf last night. This thing went into the flower bed out there, popped back up. They called it a double, and then went in and reviewed it and correctly changed it to a home run for Ryan.
Outside, 2-1 to Howard on another breaking pitch. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Atlanta on top of Miami 1-0. Atlanta's lost 3 straight. Miami, there are rumors floating around even about them trading some of their players.
They traded a few last night.
Grounder up the first base line, foul. By the way, a little house cleaning. They've now decided that Victorino did not go to third on a wild pitch. He went to third on the putout. He was going before the ball was picked up by Maldonado, but putout goes 2-3, and he advances to third on the putout. So Wheels, get your eraser out.
Yep.
Now the 2-2. Hit the opposite way, base hit it to left field. Howard picks up another RBI. It's his third in 2 games, and the Phillies have tied the ball game up at 1 apiece.
Greinke made a great pitch on Ryan. Looked like a fastball. Was hard too. In on him, broke his bat. But Ramirez, it was over his head. Nice piece of hitting there to get that run. Nice 2-out run for the Phillies. Last night they trailed 2-0 in the first, tied it. Tonight 1-0. They tied it. Look, that's a pitcher's pitch right there, and he fights it off. He's so strong. You can hear the bat break.
9th RBI overall for Howard. Here's Ruiz. And Ruiz takes low, 1-0. Carlos 1 for 3 with a big RBI in last night's ball game. That was in the 9th inning. He had a beautiful swing against Francisco Rodriguez, who threw a lot of pitches last night, but they think he might be available tonight to close if they need it. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The infield is back. And the ball whacked toward third, off the glove of Ramirez, and he still makes a strong throw in time to get Carlos, who comes off the bag limping as he goes down the right field line. The Phils get a run on the RBI single by Ryan Howard. The inning was almost alive on a bobble by Aramis Ramirez. Here you go. He's usually sure-handed at third. It took a bad hop at the end. That's what a strong arm can do for you. to see every Phillies out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Brewers and the Phils tied at 1 here in the top of the second. Martin Maldonado, Cesar Torres, and Zach Greinke against Cliff Lee. 2 runs, 6 hits overall for the two teams. Maldonado came into last night's ball game toward the end. And now he gets a chance to start today. His numbers are pretty good. 278 with 5 home runs. Mentioned last night their starting catcher Jonathan Lucroy, who was off to a fabulous start, injured, broke his hand when he fell on a suitcase. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Lee. A foul ball off the mask of Brian Onora.
There's a little umpire wake-up call. Man. Oof.
Back toward the Hall of Fame club. It's 2-2. Maldonado went up 0 for 1 in last night's ball game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And on the ground is shortstop. Pretty easy play for Rollins. So Lee gets the first out here in the second. And Cesar Torres is due up. Well, you never know what you're going to see here at Citizens Bank Park when you're thinking of the first pitch. You'll see all kinds of celebrities. How about Fatima Maddox? They call her TNT. She's part of the Harlem Globetrotters. How many times I saw the Harlem Globetrotters when I was a kid? Well, there's some of the fanciest basketball players you'll ever see. And that's a pretty good first pitch that the Fanatic caught. I don't think the Fanatic could do that. Let's check in with Greg Murphy, who's with Fatima. Murph?
I am indeed. You just looked at your first pitch. You didn't seem too pleased with that. I thought it was pretty good.
I felt like I came up a little bit short, just a little bit.
Well, the Fanatic picked it out of the dirt. Fatima Maddox, TNT is your Harlem Globetrotter name, and yeah, it must be a thrill to play for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. I can't imagine what that must be like.
Yeah, I mean, the team is so legendary. I'm honored. I'm honored to say I was a part of it, and I'm going to be a part of someone's memories until they, until they get old and gray.
You played college basketball for Dawn Staley at Temple University, a legend here in Philadelphia, and then you make the move to the Globetrotters. What has it been like to really travel the world and show your skills to a different audience every night all over the planet?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to be a professional athlete, and I got to do that for 2 years in Sweden, and then I became a Harlem Globetrotter. But I think this took it up another notch, you know what I mean? Just the environment every single night. Like you said, we're in a different city almost every night, so I meet new people every single day, and that's a passion of mine, to meet new people, try to help people as much as I possibly can, and that's what I'm doing.
Now, a lot of folks might say, I didn't know there were female Harlem Globetrotters. You're the first female since 1993 and only the 9th in history. Intimidating when you joined for the first time?
I wouldn't say intimidating, but there is, a certain amount of pressure that comes with being the only female on an all-male pro team. But I think it's good pressure. The young ladies come out to the games along with their parents and their mothers, and they come up to me and say that I inspire them and things like that. So it's been great.
Well, TNT and the gang will be where? In Wildwood coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we'll be playing in Wildwood on August 8th through the 11th at 7 o'clock each night at the Wildwood Convention Center. Come out, bring your family. It's a unique experience that the whole family will enjoy.
Always. And if anyone's ever seen the Globetrotters, you know it is the perfect family environment. Fatima, nice to see you. Congratulations and good luck with everything. And we're headed to take a break here. All tied up here at 1. We'll be right back.
experience with Comcast Sportsnet on TV and online. Get updated stats, scores from around the league, and news from our team of insiders. Check out In-Game Live now at csnphilly.com. Of course, the trade deadline is July 31st. It's coming up pretty quick, so you might want to check out Jim Salisbury at csnphilly.com. He usually has his finger on the pulse of what's going on around the Phillies and all around Major League Baseball. To the bottom of the second, Hunter Pence, Ty Wigginton, John Mayberry. Game tied at 1. Hunter Pence was 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game, 2 for his last 22. But let's face it, the Phillies needed his walk to load up the bases to help them win the ball game yesterday.
That got them to the point where all the pressure then was on the Brewers with the bases loaded, 1 out on the road.
Only 4 at-bats against Zach Greinke in his career, so he's 1 for 4. I remember Zach Greinke when he pitched for the Wilmington Blue Rocks, and the reason I remember it is because he had such an amazing year. He was there for parts of 2 seasons, but one of his years he was 11-1, and get this, a 1.14 earned run average. I don't care what level you're on, that's hard to do.
Any league, that's really outstanding.
He was the prize of the Kansas City Royals system. And some folks thought he could last forever there because it's not a big market. He doesn't seem to like the spotlight.
No, he's not real outgoing. In fact, he had some kind of problems. He had to take time off, that he just needed to get away.
Up and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He can do that. This guy can really, how fast is it? 94, 95 miles per hour. He'll top off at 95. He looks like a kind of a slightly built guy that's going to be more of a junk baller out there. He can flat out fire when he wants to.
Chopper right side. Ricky Weeks backs up on it. So a couple of ground outs so far in this game for Zach Greinke. And with 1 away, Ty Wigginton, whose sacrifice fly won the game for the Phils last night. Ty's 0 for his last 13. But again, couldn't have done it without a sac fly yesterday. They play him to pull. We don't see this often, but we're seeing it here.
Talk about that sometimes. You rarely see a right-handed hitter played that way. But they are doing it with Wigginton. Look at that, where they have Ricky Weeks right here, the second baseman, sitting up the middle on him. Don't know about that either. He hits a lot of balls the other way.
Well, we didn't see it last night. I guess it depends on the pitcher.
Yeah. This guy can make you swing late, too. There's Weeks. They're playing the first baseman hard, way off the line, too, to take some of that second base area away.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a curve. Pretty good one. 1 and 2. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Carla Goldsberry of Wilmington. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Carla will win $100. What do you think about that, little guy? He likes it. Why are they dressing me up in red?
Could be first game, huh?
Yep. Swing and a miss and another curveball. That one a little quicker than the other. In fact, that may have been his slider, and it was. 2 outs. Second strikeout for Greinke.
Zach Greinke's got all the pitches. You can see why teams would want to have him. That's a real good hard breaking ball. Threw a curveball earlier in the count and threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, or 94 to Hunter Pence up and in.
Last year with the Brewers, he went 16-6 with an earned run average of 3.83. When he won the Cy Young back in 2009, he had a 2.16 earned run average. We mentioned his ERA was under 4 in the National League, and that earned run average of just over 2. I'm sorry, in the American League, that earned run average of just over 2 in the American League. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's really good. DH league.
Fastball down and away, 2-0. Strikeouts per 9 innings, he's 5th in the National League. Strasburg, of course, leads. Gonzalez is behind him.
Lance Lynn's having some year for St. Louis. I've seen a whole lot of him. You know, we saw him in the bullpen for them.
The count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Greinke. Curveball hit foul, just foul, down the left field line. And Marcy will give it to that young lady, and she's going to have a smile on her face for the rest of the night.
There's some action down that left field corner last night with fans and ball girl.
Yeah.
Good plays.
They're going to set up outside. This might mean another hook. Nope, it's a fastball. Well, here you go. Genevieve down the left field line.
Talk about the action down there last night. Look at this play. It's just a great catch. Full extension. Nice job.
She's got some pretty good play all around national television yesterday. Should have. And local TV. Check swing. They appeal. No swing. 3-2. Chad Fairchild.
If you're the other ball girls and somebody lines one down, they ought to just let it go. You're not going to make that play. Well, I couldn't get to it.
Well, in all fairness to Marcy, that last one that was hit by John Mayberry was hit pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. No chance.
Now the 3-2 pitch. A chopper up the third base line. That'll be a tough play. Greinke gets to it. Oh boy, he made an excellent play, falling away as he flipped that over to first.
He's a really good athlete.
1-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 go the Phillies. That's a pretty good defense right there by Zack Greinke. Take a look at this play. He picks it up and throws off 1 foot while falling away. Got to be able to field your position, folks, and that's exactly what Greinke did to wrap up the 7th. All the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is this: name the Phillies player that hit 2 home runs in Game 4 of the 2008 National League Division Series against the Brewers. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Got a pretty good idea of that one?
Yeah, I got a guess. I'm sure the fans will have a lot of fun with it because this is about the fans.
I would think the fans have the answer already. The answer, by the way, is usually given within a matter of seconds.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
How come we don't get it?
Well, because we want you to wait.
Yeah.
Nori Aoki Singled his first time up, was thrown out trying to score from second. Aoki was a 7-time All-Star over in Japan.
The thing about notice with him, he doesn't swing and miss that much, and I guess I don't know, he walks enough, but he's not a strikeout guy. He's going to put the ball in play because he's got that controlled swing that just looks funky.
Swing and a miss. I don't know if that was controlled.
Well, it is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they know what they're doing with the bat. It's like a magic wand with them, and they don't swing and miss a whole lot, even though they look like they're running before they hit it.
Inside with a cutter. 2-1.
Yeah, I think what it is I guess if you really watch certain hitters like Aoki a lot, is they manage to keep their hands back a long time, even though it looks like everything else is flying. See that? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right there, but he loads up and he keeps his hands back pretty well, and then he attacks. So that's why I guess he doesn't swing and miss and strike out that much, because it's harder to fool a guy that can wait that long.
He's kind of settled into the leadoff spot for the Brewers, at least for the time being.
It's really an interesting style to watch. All different ways to hit.
Hit over to second. He dragged that one. And hustling all the way, Utley throws him out.
He makes contact. Key is in hitting, and there's so many things about hitting, it's so darn hard to do. But if you don't load up and have a way to get loaded, you're not going to be able to hit. It's like playing golf. I mean, it's the same thing. You have to be able to load your swing, or you're not going to be able to do anything. Everybody has a different trigger mechanism, too. It's fun to watch the way guys hit and the way they get their hands set to fire.
Carlos Gomez takes inside. That's why they say it takes, was it 10,000 swings to perfect a baseball swing, something like that?
I don't know. I could have taken 10,000 and I'd done it.
Well, for some folks, they'll never perfect it.
Take 50,000.
To left field. Mayberry's on the run. He'll track that down. And there are 2 outs. Brewers will be here one more time. That's tomorrow afternoon. It's a 1:05 Citizens Bank Business Person Special. There's the pitching matchup. Marco Estrada against Vance Worley. You can purchase tickets right now by going to Phillies.com. Stop by the ballpark tomorrow. There are good seats still available for that game.
Marco Estrada is a guy the Phillies have seen 6 times in relief for a total of 6 1/3 innings in his career against Phil's with the Brewers.
All-around baseball, folks seem to be looking for starting pitching.
Ho hum, what's new?
Sean Markham threw a bullpen session today for the Brewers, so they're hoping he's going to be back in the near future.
Talk about a good changeup.
Want to know the count to Ryan Braun. And Braun lifts into the air, shallow center field. Victorino comes trotting in. He's under it and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 third. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Cliff Lee. Nice job by Cliff to settle in after a rough first. We go to the home third, and he'll lead things off. can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Buy Nissan Summer Saving Days. Get to Nissan for the biggest savings under the sun. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local Nissan dealer. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Nice crowd on hand tonight here in Philadelphia. Milwaukee won. Philadelphia won. Cliff Lee leads it off, and he gets the first pitch on the ground sharply to Corey Hart.
Talking about Cliff Lee, Tom, as you signed off in the top of the inning, how he's in a groove right now. Well, one of the reasons is he's not in the stretch. And it's amazing how when he starts mowing them down, stays out of the stretch, quick innings, gets them out, he gets in the stretch and he gets into a little bit of trouble like he did in the first. Not all the time, but when he's pitching out of the windup, it's amazing the way he can get hitters out and the way he works his zone, hits his spots.
Well, the numbers show that. It must be something mechanical. Must be splitting concentration, that type of thing.
You know, it's not like it's, you know, that it's psychological with him because he doesn't think that way. You know, he just goes out and pitches. He's not an overthinker out there. He gets it, gets assigned, throws it, tries to hit his spot.
Jimmy Rollins flied to left his first time up. 0 for 1. On the outside corner with a slider, and it's 0-2.
This one's settling down a little bit the way you think it's going to be. That you have two really good strike throwers out there that should pitch well here tonight.
Fastball away, 1-2. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's brought to you by Toyota. And the Mets on top of Washington 1-0. R.A. Dickey's going for his 14th win tonight. Gio Gonzalez. Both those guys have hit a little bit of a speed bump lately.
It's a good matchup.
Rollins tried to check. They appeal. No swing, says Tom Hallion.
Ricky can't believe it. He just turned around to look. He was figuring that was going to be a ring up.
Close. That's close.
See Tom right away goes no.
I don't think anybody would have been surprised if he had punched him out on that check.
Yep, either or. Good breaking ball down on a 2-2 count. Now maybe a fastball count. We'll see. Or goes back to throw. What he threw 2-2.
Again, the opposite way. I say again because he was retired his first at bat the opposite way. And as everybody who has followed Jimmy Rollins' career, all 1,965 hits, he does not often hit the ball from the left side of the plate to the left fielder.
No, that's why I was surprised. Well, it had a lot of hang time, and that's why Braun was able to go over and get it.
This one off the end of the bat, a base hit to right center field. So make that 1,966 hits for Jimmy Rollins. A one-out single, and it'll bring Shane Victorino to the plate. Wheels, you feeling lucky?
Yeah.
You don't sound like you're feeling lucky.
Well, I don't play those things, but I enjoy people that win it. It's fun to hear the stories.
Well, the Mega Millions, there'll be a new story told tonight because it goes off tonight and Friday, $45 million. And tomorrow, Powerball wheels, $121 million, Wednesday and Saturday.
It'd be pretty cool to win one of those, huh?
Amen to that.
Can't win if you don't play either. So go play.
Victorino doubled and scored the run for the Phillies. That was in the first.
Ricky's times are okay. They have him down as a slide step. Out of the slide step real fast. If you pick a breaking ball, I guess is the higher time. And base stealers 5 out of 10 against him.
A little flip over to first. And if you're wondering about Maldonado behind the plate, he hasn't been here all year, but 7 for 22 throwing runners out. That is 24%.
There it is. 2 pickoffs, no balks. Is Jimmy Rollins a good base runner that he is? You know, stay alert down there with the way this guy's been bouncing pitches. He might be able to move up on one.
Victorino shoots it over to left, and Ryan Braun comes in a few steps. And Chase Utley will take some hacks with 2 away here in the 3rd.
That's a real good time to run if he thinks he can steal a bag. Get in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Chase struck out his first time up. On that strikeout, Victorino went to 3rd as he was retired 2-3. Utley was. And Chase hits it back to the box, caught out of the air by Zach Greinke, and the side is retired. Hit it right off the end of the bat, and Greinke was in perfect position to field it. And the Phillies are retired here in the 3rd. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Got to stay on your toes if you're on the mound. We go to the 4th. Which tapes, repairs, then magically disappears. From who? But W.B. Mason. 3 in the books. A little bit of a pitcher's duel so far. 1-1 the score. Cliff Lee against Zach Greinke. Lee has retired 7 straight. Greinke's allowed a hit over the last couple of innings. So we go to the top of the 4th. Aramis Ramirez, Corey Hart, Ricky Weeks to face Cliff. We said the other day, yes, this has been a very odd year. But he's not getting caught up. As hard as it is, as difficult as it sounds, he's not getting caught up in the wins and losses at this point. Just trying to keep his team in the game and hope that they eventually win the ball game.
Yeah, after getting that first game and winning that one, I could see him feeling that way. But obviously he knows this is not going to be his best year. So what you do is you're right. Give your team a chance to win.
A cutter on the outside corner, and it's 0-2 to Ramirez, who singled to right his first time up.
No, he's had such great control. That's one of the things that's left him. Not throwing strikes. He throws strikes.
Well, that's a strike right there, but it's a swinging strike. A heck of a curve. Ramirez is not going to run up to first. And you see Brian Honora waited until he left the circle, and then he called him out.
Well, fastball hitter and getting a breaking ball, and you can do that when you get ahead of the hitter. Ramirez, one of those aggressive guys, and will swing at bad pitches from time to time.
One set aside. Corey Hart, RBI single in his back pocket, up for the second time. Then he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Hart playing in his 49th game over at first base. Most he's ever played at first. He was an outfielder who had spent some time early in his career over at first base, but a very limited amount of time. But Ron Renicky and the Brewers, once this season got underway, they didn't have Prince Fielder over there. So they were looking for somebody to fill some time, and well, Corey Hart got that job.
Well, one of the things, though, he's a pretty big target. And being able to move from the outfield to first base would tell you that he's a good athlete.
Now the 1-2 pitch. That's a good pitch. It was inside, but it was a good pitch with 2 strikes. Another good pitch. A cutter that he started away, and it really did stay away, but was heading toward the black. So Corey Hart, well, he couldn't let it go.
No, that all set up by that inside pitch, just barely missing that. Then what he does is takes a little bit off of that. See how Hart is off balance? We've talked about that before. When you know the pitcher's on his game, the hitters will be off balance or hitting a lot of ground balls.
Now with 2 away, Ricky Weeks, who grounded it to a fielder's choice that finished up the first. A liner to left field. Mayberry coming on, makes the diving grab. It hung up there long enough. He got a pretty good break on it, and he was able to put it away for the final out here in the 4th inning. 10 in a row set down in order by Cliff Lee, and he was helped out a little bit by his left fielder. Pretty good defense for the Phils and for the Brewers so far in this ball game. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Citizens Bank Park, all tied up at 1. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play Harley-Davidson, the new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Bottom of the 4th, Ryan Howard, Carlos Ruiz, Hunter Pence, 4, 5, and 6. Ryan Howard joked last night about being pinch run for by Eric Kratz. There was probably a time a few years ago that wouldn't have happened for Ryan Howard, but it all worked out.
Yeah, it sure did, as Kratz came crashing into the plate there. Anytime you get a victory, you can always talk and laugh about it. That's what the good thing is, though, but good to have Howard back in the lineup.
Well, it is good, and Charlie and I spent a lot of time together today. We were taping another edition of his TV show, and he discussed just having Howard and Utley back in the lineup, what it has meant. He was most impressed last night with Utley's 3 walks.
Yeah.
And he was also impressed with Ryan's presence at the plate. He feels like he has that back.
Yeah, I think Utley's game plan was to go in and take a lot of pitches or to make sure that he looks at strikes, went 3-2 quite a bit. That's really what you want him to do. More pitches you see, easier it's going to be to come back. It's just the way it's going to be right now for both of those guys.
I also think that the more pitches they took last night, the more Rodriguez was out of the strike zone, the more the element of doubt crept into his mind. Does that make sense?
Well, they faced him too before when he's with the Mets, so he wasn't going to surprise them. They were smart enough, however, if he wasn't throwing certain pitches over like the breaking ball, they could sit on some of the other pitches. Didn't swing at a lot, but squared some balls up. Most importantly, got some timely hitting.
All right, the count is 3-0 to Howard. He gets the green light, hits it hard. Hart bobbles, and they have time to throw him out. With one away, Carlos Ruiz is up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with his Major League Notebook. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Brought to you by, of course, Gwinnett Mercy College. And would you believe, guys, it is the 29th anniversary of the Pine Tar incident. That, of course, is a game in Yankee Stadium where George Brett thought he had hit the go-ahead home run in the 9th inning for the Kansas City Royals, only to be declared his bat illegal, and the home run was thrown out. And, of course, what makes it legendary was George Brett's reaction. We've all seen the video. He runs out of the dugout, nostrils flaring, and he was not a happy guy. Of course, that was eventually overturned. The Royals did win that game. 29th anniversary for that. One other note in the notebook tonight, Lucas Duda, the right fielder for the New York Mets, has been sent down to AAA. He's been struggling for the last month and a half for the New York Mets. They decided to make room for Matt Harvey, a pitching prospect, and they've sent Lucas Duda down to the minor leagues.
Yeah, they had been rumored to be doing that when the Mets and the Phillies faced each other at Citi Field. So they're going the other way since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I think they only have one win since the All-Star break.
Well, that's a hard thing, though, to go down to the minor leagues after you've been there already a year. But, it's easy to get to the major leagues, but to stay there and then also stay in the lineup can be difficult.
With 2 outs, Hunter Pence, he hits it over to third. Ramos Ramirez got a couple big hops, and the Phillies go down 1-2-3 here in the fourth. 3 ground outs for Zach Greinke. He's allowed 3 hits over 4 and a run. We go to the 5th, tied up at 1 apiece. Fans can now buy a limited edition Fans Feeding Families pin on sale at the Majestic Clubhouse store and Phillies newsstands at Citizens Bank Park. Each $9 pin provides 15 meals for families in need. For more information on how you can help feed the hungry, go to Phillies.com/feedingfamilies. That's all part of the Halliday Family Foundation. And of course, the Fans Feeding Families program. It's a great program that the Phillies and the Halliday Family Foundation implemented last year.
Yeah.
And it went a long way in helping to feed families in the Delaware Valley a season ago. In fact, check out Phillies.com for a special event that's going to happen that Sunday when the Phillies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's a pregame party tent event that'll be taking place that you won't want to miss. So check out Phillies.com for that information.
Wow. Okay.
I was out there last year, and Doc was out there because it's part of his foundation.
Yeah.
Martin Maldonado is behind in the count 0-1, and the 0-1 pitch to him. Try to check. They appeal. No swing. I guess they're just going to say everything is a no swing tonight.
Well, you can call it just about every time, and there's sometimes, though, you know that a hitter doesn't actually swing at the pitch.
Curveball, a strike, 1-2. You had a lot of movement in your body. You swung hard. Were there tricks that you had to, if you thought, all right, I did go around here, but what can I do to make the umpire think I didn't?
Well, I mean, you would actually, for me, again, you could just about call it every time, but I just wanted to make sure, even if my body was going forward, good pitch, that my hands were back, and then if I was making the move, it would be with the body as opposed to with my hands. But when I was getting ready to hit the ball, I would be more conventional, like most hitters would be, in going through the ball.
Opposite way. That's a fair ball off the first base bag. Howard is there. Lee can't get there, and the ball hit him, I think, right in the head or the shoulder, but he's safe at first.
Wow. I thought that might have hit the bag. He threw it, hit the bag there.
Oh, you think it might have hit the bag on the throw?
Well, I know the ball hit the bag there on the ground ball. I thought when he threw that ball there that it actually hit the bag.
It hit something. I hope it did hit the bag. Because
well, if it hits him in the head, he's got to be laying, I would think, right out there right now. He makes a fine play there, and he just whips it over. Take a look at it. Oh.
Hit him right in the arm, right in the shoulder.
Got him right in the shoulder. Boy, I tell you what, he's a strong guy. You can see, though, when Lee going over, just not over there soon enough. Not a bad throw, but if it was over to the left a little bit, might have had a better chance.
A leadoff single. It ends a streak of 10 in a row retired by Lee. Cesar Torres grounded out his first time up. Phillies will set up to try to turn two here in the top of the fifth in a 1-1 game. Line drive, base hit to right field. And Hunter Pence plays it on a hop. So Greinke's going to be up there to sacrifice, you would think, to move the runners up to second and third.
Both hitters hitting pretty good pitches. Well, a lot of times, and you don't want to do that. You got to give a little credit there to them. That was an inside out swing. As Torres hitting that in to right field. Like to get a pop up if he can right now.
Greinke struck out his first time up.
Not too bad of a hitting pitcher, although this is a bunt situation all the way. He's got a couple of home runs to his credit.
That whole left side is wide open. He squares and he bunts in front of the plate. Ruiz picks it up and Greinke's thrown out. The sacrifice is successful. Put out goes 2-4.
This guy's a pretty good athlete too, by the way. I don't know if they're going to be able to sign him. They've already offered him 5 years, a little over $100 million or so. He's another guy that wants to test the market. Now, again, when you look at his record, you don't look at him and you say, wow, I mean, put him in that category as a Holiday or so, but he is a legit number one.
I think winning a Cy Young award and having an earned run average in the American League just barely over 2, I think that's where he's placed himself into a different category than some others.
Good point.
Phillies play the infield back with one out, and Aoki takes low, 1-0. Aoki is a contact guy, and if he makes contact here toward the middle of the diamond, Brewers will most likely get a run.
If he hits it sharply to the corners, they could come home, especially to third base or even to first base.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we'll take a look at what's going on down in Miami. It's now 3-3. Jose Reyes has hit a 2-run home run. Be very interesting to see what the Marlins do as this week moves on. Rumors are flying that Hanley Ramirez is being shopped, that Josh Johnson is being shopped.
Well, I'm satisfied with the way that both players are playing.
Inside and low, 3-0 to Aoki. Carlos Gomez on deck.
Sorry, Tom. One thing about Hanley, though, Ramirez with the Florida Marlins, this guy can play. He just needs to get, for me, with the right team. He's more of a veteran type of a team. Larry Boy had talked about that earlier today, and I truly believe that. You know, somebody that's not afraid to get in his face and make him play better.
Freddie Gonzalez tried that when he was a manager, and he lost his job. Can it work if he goes to another team?
A lot of respect for Freddie Gonzalez and being able to stand up and do that. He's the type of manager that plays the game the right way. And if you don't have management that is going to speak up for you when players don't hustle, then you'll just have all your players doing the same thing.
Ball 4. Aoki's aboard. The bases are now loaded. And Lee will work to Carlos Gomez. And Gomez is 0 for 2.
No, you put him handling on a team, say for instance, like the Yankees, you know, where he would have to almost not be the best player.
Oh, look at this, Sarge. They've got him picked off third. Lee caught Maldonado sleeping. The tag is made, and there are 2 outs.
Hello.
How about that?
Not looking for an out. That's got to be pretty good. That's embarrassing. You can see Ty as he has that little smirk on his face. And
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Well, he just actually threw over. He's off the bag there a little bit. Take a look at it. And that's where Ty kind of sneaks around him. By the time he realizes it, it's too late. Maldonado tries to duck down, but he's a dead duck.
And Lee just turned towards second as if he was going to do the same thing to Cesar Torres. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Carlos Gomez still waiting for his first pitch in this at bat. Fouls it away. It's no balls and 1 strike. Boy, after making a play like that, you got to get out of this inning.
Somebody's got to be able to see it from the third base coach or to the runner. Take a look, and there's Lee just kind of looking over there, and there goes Ty sneaking behind him, and it is off to the races.
Oh, and 2 the count.
That is huge, by the way. Whole different situation where it's going to almost take a clean base hit or something in that outfield in order to score the runner.
Crowd get behind Cliff Lee with 2 outs, 2 strikes here at the top of the 5th. He's ready. The runner's 2. The pitch. Breaking ball. Did he go? They tag. Yes, he did, says Chad Fairchild. What a way to get out of the inning for Cliff Lee. Bases loaded, 1 out. He picks a runner off third base, and then he comes back to get Carlos Gomez on a heck of a curveball to wrap up the 5th. This is a nasty pitch from Lee, and yes, he did go. Carlos Ruiz dug it out of the dirt, applied the tag, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. School's Athletic Hall of Fame, tour Coach Reed's old stomping grounds, and hear from his family about his childhood and his early athletic success. Watch the exclusive Gun on One, Andy Reid style, presented by CarSense tonight at 11 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Ty Wigginton fouls the first pitch off, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Wigginton 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Cliff Lee is still talking, I would think, about the pickoff.
Well, that's got to be heads up, though, for both players. I mean, you can't just have one of the players that trying to get over to that bag. Got to have Cliff Lee that's looking over there as Ty kind of just sneaks behind him nonchalantly. By the time he realized what was going on, he couldn't believe it. Can't be in the game if you let something like that happen. You should always have your eye right on the pitcher there if you're not on the base. He was just daydreaming.
I'd be interested to see what Ed Cedar, the third base coach, was saying or doing. Grounder to the second. Couple of hops to Ricky Weeks.
Well, he didn't see him coming over, or else he would have told him to get back.
This is 3 pitches before he picked off Maldonado. Look at that little signal. I don't know if that's the universal sign for.
Yeah, hey, I got my eye on you.
Yeah. John Mayberry grounded out his first time up. So, Murph, when you talked to Ty Wigginton about playing third base tonight, did he bring up, I got to be ready for a Cliff Lee pickoff?
Well, no, that would have been something impressive, but we did have a conversation about him playing down there. And, you know, here's a guy who has played virtually every position in Major League Baseball. He's played everywhere but center field, pitcher, and catcher. Ty Wigginton has seen some action. He said, you know, for him, playing third base is, he enjoys it, but it's the biggest challenge. He thinks it's the toughest spot to play in the infield, obviously, because the ball gets on you so quick. But you make plays like that, and all of a sudden it's a lot of fun over there at the hot corner, I would imagine.
Well, he had not been over at third base for quite a while because he had made a couple errors in one ball game here at Citizens Bank Park. And he basically was playing first base, and that was it. But now that Ryan Howard's back, they needed to find a place for him to get some ABs if Ryan was not going to sit down. And with Polanco out with a stiff back, Charlie likes offense and feels like Wigginton's more suited to provide some offense than the others.
Well, Mayberry, all of a sudden, by the way, is starting to stay in there. You know, and as a player, it doesn't matter where you go. You just want to get in there and get it back. So I'm sure Ty, even though it is that hot corner, and you're right, it is the most difficult position to play because of the fact that in the infield, that ball gets on you in a hurry.
Well, this is what happened when they got to the dugout. See, Cliff Lee is saying, that's what I meant when I put my 2 fingers in my eyes and pointed right to you. I'm watching you.
Unreal.
Ground ball to shortstop. Jonathan Papelbon just came out of the dugout or out of the clubhouse and just did the same thing to Ty when he was in the dugout.
Oh, boy.
What is this? Is this indeed the universal sign of I'm going to throw over there? So, because if it is, I gotta know it.
Oh, boy. Easy to laugh at it, too, when it is the opposition.
A lot of truth to that, Sarge. Cliff Lee takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Again, though, it's just something that it shouldn't happen. If you're off the base, you have one thing to do. That is to be able to look at the guy that has the ball. Other than that, you're supposed to be on the base.
Another strike. 71 miles an hour.
He's got a good curveball.
I wonder if there was any interaction between Martin Maldonado and Cliff Lee when Cliff came up to the box.
Nothing to be said.
It's got to be something funny to be said. Called strike 3. 3 pitches to Lee. couple of curve balls, and Zach Greinke has now retired 8 in a row. Of those 8, 5 are on ground ball outs. Ryan Braun to lead it off when we get back. Bullpen. The right-hander pitched shutout baseball for 7 innings in his last start for the Phils. And since Roy Halladay's return, Kyle Kendrick is now working in the later innings to help relieve some of the struggling relief corps. Kendrick hasn't allowed a run since June 28th. His arm has bolstered a bullpen in need. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, this just seemed to be an odd skit, but something happened at the end that made it very funny. Here we go. Ready? Oh! I mean, the Fanatic just smoked those 3 hot dogs. Look at this.
He took them out pretty good, though.
With a big assist from Sports Star's beloved mascot, the Philly Fanatic.
Well, young Rachel from Sewell, New Jersey, she had the path cleared for her to head to the finish line. I don't think I've ever seen the Fanatic get up that high.
Oh, boy. It's like a bowling ball.
Congratulated by all of his fans. On to the top of the 6th inning. It's 1-1, the Brewers and the Phillies. So last week when Cliff Lee pitched against the Los Angeles Dodgers, Sarge, as we went to the top of the 6th inning in L.A., what do you think the score was?
1-1.
It was 1-1. Not a whole lot of offense behind Cliff.
No, and I mean, he has been getting a whole lot of support this year. And then when he does,
that ball's hit well to center field, and that ball is gone off the bricks. And the Brewers have just taken the lead. 27 home runs now for Braun. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, this is the kind of guy, for me, you got to tie up. You got to consistently be on the inside of that park of the plate. He has tremendous power there. You knew the ball was gone right away. They started to give you a lot of low 5. There's a high 5. Victorino going back. I mean, this ball here is just juiced. You can see the slow trot there that he started. And that's off the ivy. That had a little bit more distance to go.
So home run number 27 for Braun, is 67th run batted in. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Aramis Ramirez. Broke his bat. Utley to his left.
When you look at Braun's stats compared to last year as his MVP, he's almost right at the same type of numbers. Last year hitting a little bit higher at 320. This is just a classic swing of a guy that is just a good player. I mean, what can you say? MVP last year. Don't know who he's winking to. Guess the first base coach. Like I told you, there's that low 5. She comes in, going to get 1 more low 5.
A liner to right field, a base hit for Corey Hart. So he's aboard with 1 out. I believe that Ryan Braun was winking at Jimmy Rollins because he was going around second base. Why, I have no idea. Did you ever wink at a fielder when you were going around the bases?
Didn't have a lot of friends, Tom, on the opposition during those 3 hours that I was playing, including Dusty Baker.
Ricky Weeks late on a first pitch fastball. And it's 0-1 to Weeks, so I should say a cutter. Weeks is 0 for 2. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Lined out to left in the fourth. 2-1 Brewers on top here in the top of the sixth.
Here's a guy here that they feel that should be hitting a lot better than what he is. But it's simple. Because of those strikeouts, doesn't allow you to do that. This right here, if he plays every day, he'll get almost close to 200 strikeouts.
Yeah, his high, we mentioned it before, was 184 in 2010. And he is on pace to eclipse that total.
Well, the year I was there with Hernandez there, he had 188. And the year before, he had 185. Richie Sexton happened to be in the lineup with 178. I mean, you literally almost had to wear a jacket every day the way they were swinging it. You'd catch a cold for sure. Well, I mean, I've never seen so many strikeout and misses during the course of the season.
Brewers have struck out 824 times this year. That's tops in the National League. 824 times.
Wow.
Ron Renicky has not had as easy a task this year as he had last season. Things were kind of set up for him pretty well last year.
Well, not having Prince Fielder, their first baseman, free agent first baseman, he's now in Detroit. You know, not having him on that team for sure gives you a different dimension, even though Ramos Ramirez is having a decent year at third base.
Ground ball to shortstop. Might be two. Tough to double up Weeks. The exchange from Utley in time. A 6-4-3 double play. All in the exchange. Jimmy Rollins told me that today. That's why the Phillies were able to turn that double play. Ryan Braun has given the Brewers the lead with a solo home run here at the top of the sixth inning. Off the wall in center field. So the Phils from behind when we get back. Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEF now for an appointment. And by Ford. More IIHS safety picks than any other brand. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Tonight is the 253rd sellout in a row for the Phillies during the regular season. A crowd of 43,745. There are seats still available for tomorrow afternoon's ball game against the Brewers. Vance Worley back on the mound tomorrow for the Phillies. Tonight we've had a pretty good pitcher's duel. It's Zach Greinke for the Brewers, who's done a nice job. He has 8 ground outs. He's retired 8 in a row overall. And he'll face the top of the order, Jimmy Rollins, Shane Victorino, Chase Utley. Rollins is 1 for 2. This guy does throw a lot of strikes.
Oh, he's again, he's a guy that will eat up some innings. He's had, problems though in the past, but you can't question his heart when he's on that mound. That's for sure. Good curveball he has, decent fastball, above average.
Rollins checks with the count 0-2. 1-2 now the count. Washington now leads the Mets 5-1. Danny Espinosa double and an RBI for the Nats. Game's moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, that's R.A. Dickey against Gio Gonzalez. Dickey 13-1.
It's one of the few times you're actually pulling for the Mets.
Another ball down the left field line. Braun on the run, won't get there.
There's that little cutter that he throws. Braun too, he's worked himself into a decent outfielder. Very beginning once they put him out there. He played in the infield when he first got to the major leagues over at third base. Didn't work out for him, but he's a good athlete, and hitting is the best part of his game for sure.
Back to the box. The fence balls that Greinke's throwing, the sinkers are toward the outer edge.
Yeah.
So he just can't get it over his head. Don't forget, the month of August will present plenty of opportunities to see the Phils against teams like the Diamondbacks, the Braves, the Cardinals, the Reds, the Nationals, and the Mets. Some of the great promotions include Toyota Alumni Weekend, Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights, and the Liberty Mutual Insurance Hunter Pence Bobble Figurine. Purchase your tickets by going to Phillies.com.
Looking forward to that Alumni Weekend.
Mike Lieberthal will be inducted into the Toyota Wall of Fame.
Get a chance to see some old teammates, old friends. Stories get better and better every single year.
Over to first, and Corey Hart keeps it around the area. And there are 2 outs.
Yeah.
You don't embellish your stories, though, Sarge, do you?
Well, most of them are, I got to say, right on. There's some that I end up forgetting, like Mr. Pena, he pitches for the Dodgers.
Alejandro.
Wills that reminded me that he threw pretty hard.
He was a good pitcher for a number of years.
Really bad.
Yeah. Braves, Dodgers.
Well, maybe he had a cup of coffee and a cup of tea then, huh?
Exactly. And he had a donut and he had a full course meal, too.
Yeah, Will said he was there for a while.
Low to Utley, 1-0. I think what you meant is that he had a cup of coffee in that postseason.
Yeah, I just.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, we really put a whipping on those Dodgers in that playoff. Sure was good. See some of that Dodger blue squirting out.
A cutter for a strike. 1-1 to Utley. Utley tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out his first time up, and he hit a little soft liner back to Greinke. That was in his last at bat. Something about the way he pitches just seems like it just tails away.
Well, he's got good movement on that ball for sure. Has a good breaking ball. He throws it for a strike. He can throw it to try and make you swing at it in the dirt. That's what he was trying to do to J-Row. Then he has that little two-seamer, which is a sinker. which is difficult to hit unless you're just driving it. But he's been getting ground balls. If you turn down the amount of money that he has, you obviously he believes in his ability.
And a called strike three, a cutter toward the outer edge, gets Utley looking. He's retired the Phillies in order in each of the last 3 innings. We've completed 6. It's a 1-run Brewer lead.
Good pitching here tonight with these two guys, Cliff Lee, Zach Greinke, and Ryan Braun's home run, the difference in the game. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He scored a couple runs. He had a screamer out to dead center. You see what Greinke's done. He's on a consecutive retired streak right now, and Ryan Howard has the Phillies RBI hit. Cliff Lee, well, he pitched well here tonight. He's only given up 2 earned runs, and you know, the Phillies 3 or fewer runs in 12 of his 16 starts this year, and they're on a pace for that again tonight.
We mentioned that before, that last time he was on the mound against Clayton Kershaw, you looked at the 6th. What was the score? It was 1-1. Now it's 2-1 as we go to the 7th. And Maldonado shows bunt. He missed it. It was called a strike anyway. Or at least it would have been called a strike.
Well, that brain cramp he had down there helped a little bit, huh?
I don't think I've ever seen it before. I don't. Nothing like that. You've seen guys picked off 2nd and 1st, but never off 3rd like that. Maldonado's 1 for 2. Hit the ball off the first base bag his last time up, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to him.
Yeah, it was a great replay. You guys were showing how they were talking, how they were, you know, looking at each other, and just kind of had the communication for Wigginton to walk in there. And Lee just flipped it over. I guess Maldonado knows, well, I can't go back because I'm out. I might as well just run, see what happens.
I said to Sarge, I wonder what Ed Cedar was saying over at third base coach.
He was saying, well, I better not say it.
Ties up Maldonado for a strikeout.
Here's a look at it. You know, he's looking over at him. See, I'm watching you. And now, there he does it again. And now he just steps off. Now he just flips it over. He's sound asleep over there. He looked like somebody threw a snake at him. The way he was startled and started to run. Wasn't funny for the Brewers, but boy, did it help Cliff Lee get out of a potential big inning.
It did. He trails it 2-1 here in the 7th. Cesar Torres late, way late on a fastball, and he fouls it away. It's 0-1. Tomorrow, the final game of this 3-game series, Vance Worley against Marco Estrada. It's a 1:05 first pitch. Tickets are still available for the ball game. Phillies wrap up this homestand. hoping it means that they will be wrapping it up with a victory and a winning homestand. And a foul tip into the glove of Ruiz, 0-2. First, though, they got to get to Zach Greinke here.
Wind has really started to pick up now towards right and right center.
And there are no storms in the area.
Oh, no, just beautiful, clear weather. Out of the northwest. Nice night.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it with some high cheese. 6 strikeouts for Lee. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They'll receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Citizens Bank is one of the sponsors of the Fans Feeding Families program that the Phillies are doing with the Halliday Family Foundation. Mentioned that before. Greinke hits one in the air deep to left field. Forget about it. That one is gone. And it's a 3-1 Brewers lead. Well, this is a homestand where the starting pitchers are hitting some homers.
That's his third major league home run.
Third major league home run.
For a guy that pitched in the American League most of his career. You mentioned what a good athlete he is. You saw him field his position. Well, that was just Cliff Lee. You know, you got the pitcher up there, 2 outs, nobody on base, and he just throws the ball down the middle. Watch. He makes a mistake. Just, oh, I'll get ahead. You know, just throw a strike. And, hey, Cliff Lee can do that to people, too. And Greinke got him. And that thing's way out, too.
Yeah, that wasn't a cheapie.
That was a big man's homer.
To the top of the order, Aoki's now the hitter with 2 outs. 3-1. Brewers on top. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. To the count. Aoki tonight is walked. He is grounded to second and he's singled to left. So he's 1 for 2. Pulls that one foul. So 0-2 the count. Phillies in their half of the 7th will have Howard, Ruiz, and Pence to face Zach Greinke.
So that's a big run they just picked up.
Sure.
The way this guy's pitching. The way Greinke's pitching. Now that wind is going to help the ball the other way, but he hit that so low, he hit it right through it.
Line drive caught by Ty Wigginton. Ball was running away from him. And the side is retired. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. Zach Greinke, though, well, he stretched the folks' legs out in left field with his 3rd career home run. 3-1 Brewers on top. His answer. Wills, here you go. Here's the question one more time. Name the Phillies player that hit 2 home runs in Game 4 of the 08 NLDS versus the Brewers.
Man, who would later lead the parade down Broad Street. Pat Burrell.
Pat Burrell is correct.
Bing!
Was that your bing?
That was Sarge.
That was Sarge's bing.
Yeah,
because you binged last night.
Bing!
Log back on thephillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stuff the Fence. Pat's scouting for the San Francisco Giants, sitting next to Jim Fregosi. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, Phillies down 3-1. Those home runs were big. The Brewers, at their place, it was loud when the Phillies were facing them.
Well, they had those miserable thundersticks at one point.
Oh. We were warned, too, in the 08 World Series that the cowbells would be louder in Tampa. I don't think the cowbells were louder. Do you think they were louder?
Not louder in those things, not in those thundersticks.
Howard's 1 for 2. Ties him up, takes it inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan has the lone RBI for the Phillies tonight, his 9th of the year. That's a changeup. The man has, I don't know if it works like this all the time. We don't see him every game, but he has 4 pitches. I guess you could say even 5.
He's a big time pitcher, this guy, and he's on tonight. He's interested too. You know, he has, say he has games sometimes where it looks like he's not really out there. You know, concentration maybe not be the same tonight. He's focused, it looks like, and he's throwing all his pitches. He can pitch backwards. You're dealing with a guy who throws the ball 95 miles an hour. It's not like you can sit on off-speed stuff thinking you're foul his fastball.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Howard. Swing and a miss. That was a cutter. And he starts the 7th the way he ended the 6th with a strikeout.
Yeah, whether he stays here or whether he moves on, he's showing the scouts tonight, you know, what you can have with a guy like him. I mean, that's a really hard breaking ball right there. Tough back foot slider to Ryan Howard.
Well, he's retired 12 in a row, and Carlos now is up here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. 81 pitches for Greinke so far. Again, he's had 11 days since his last outing.
You know, they got to love that pitch count with all this rest, because they don't necessarily want to use their pen after what happened here last night.
The oddity of the whole thing is that Brewers do not have a complete game.
No, I was just going to say Greinke doesn't have one, so if the Brewers don't have one, obviously he doesn't.
Brewers, the Cubs, and the Rockies have not thrown a complete game this year. 1-0 pitch to Ruiz. Fouls it away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, you go back over this game when they'll look at pitches and watch how he doesn't throw a ball in the middle of the plate. He stayed out of the middle of the plate really well here tonight. Guys are reaching a lot. K-Rod wants to get back in here tonight. Huh?
He does.
Look where that pitch is. I mean, it misses, but you know, it's close. And if he didn't start throwing some pitches down the middle, they're not going to hit it.
Ruiz grounds it to short. It jumped a little bit on East Torres. And 2 outs here in the 7th. Hunter Pence is coming up. You know, last night Francisco Rodriguez had a little trouble, obviously. The Phillies scored 4 runs against him. They've had trouble with their closers role. But Murph, it sounds like Ron Renicki's going to stay with Francisco Rodriguez to start.
Yeah, you know he is, and he had a good reason for it. He said, you know, it's been something that's been a problem, obviously, all season long. You know, John Axford was their original closer, and he said, you know, despite Francisco Rodriguez's troubles, he doesn't want to look at it from just one side. He said he wants to look at it from the other side as well, and he doesn't think that John Axford's ready to come back and be their closer. In fact, he went to Francisco Rodriguez when Axford was having his troubles and said, you know, what should we do? You know, how do you get him right? And he listened to him and took his advice. And neither of them think that they're ready to get back, so they're going to just wait for Axford to be ready instead of rushing him back into that closer's role.
Well, they may not need the closer tonight. We'll see. They did have Varys warming up during that inning. We go to the top of the 8th inning with the Phillies down by 2. with Toyota Care. And by Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. Not a whole lot of offense here tonight. We go to the top of the 8th inning. TNT is back doing a little dance with the Fanatic. The Fanatic had a plan. He didn't want to try to duplicate what TNT was able to do on the dugout, so he brought a volunteer out from the audience. Wills, have you ever spun a basketball on your finger?
Not for very long.
Well, that's long right there. And let's see how she does. She does a pretty good job, right? Whoop! Startled that it left her finger.
She's looking like, gee, that looked easy. How do you do that? She's a globetrotter. That's how.
Harlem Globetrotters, I don't know about everybody else out there. Oh boy, Carlos Gomez just crushed one. That is one of the longest home runs you'll see hit to left field here at the ballpark, and it's now 4-1 Milwaukee.
Another first pitch homer. All three have been on the first pitch, right?
I think you're right. Yeah, it has been. Yep.
Yeah. And that's Lee, who has the highest percentage of first pitch strikes in Major League Baseball. Cliff Lee coming into the game at 71%. So, you know, teams look for a ball in the zone early, and they've hit 3 home runs tonight on first pitches. There it is. May have been a cutter right down the middle, and that is a bomb. Ooh.
Well, that baseball was screaming as that one went out. It's 4-1 here in the top of the 8th. Ryan Braun, who homered his last time up, is the hitter. He's 2 for 3. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Second home run of the series for Carlos Gomez.
That's strong.
Strong and long. Curveball foul.
Here's Braun, first pitch, 6th inning. Low ball hitter. We talked about it earlier, how he loves the ball out over the plate to get his arms extended, and that was awesome. That was a screamer, as you called the ball Gomez just hit. But that baby was amazing how fast it got out and how low it was. He has great coverage away. That's the thing about him. But, you know, maybe, you know, they feel, well, he's dangerous in, too. You don't want to be fooling around inside on him. But when you watch him, to me, he hits the ball with unbelievable power from center field over towards right and right center, too, where most of his home runs seem to go.
Just below the knees, and it's now 2-2. Michael Schwimmer's in the bullpen for the Phillies. Phillies bullpen's done a pretty good job the last couple of days. Phillies are down 3, 4-1. Cliff's given up 10 hits tonight. He checked on a high fastball.
He's gotten away with it for the most part with the 3 solo home runs now and breaking the 1-1 tie.
Over toward the left side, and that'll sneak into left field, a base hit. Second time tonight that Braun has hit a ball that way.
You know, both times it looked like it was on cutters when they did try to, you know, bust him inside, but just didn't get it far enough in.
That's 11 hits now allowed by Cliff. Coming up tonight, it's Sports Night. Derek Gunn reports from Lehigh on the very latest from Eagles training camp. Plus Leslie Goodell gets reaction from tonight's ball game. John Borick reports on the fall out of the Penn State scandal. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota after Phillies post-game live here on Comcast Sports Night. Well, they are hacking at some first pitches here.
Well, this guy at home plate, he doesn't know any other way.
The 11 hits allowed by Lee, the second most in a game this year. He allowed 12 hits back on the 16th of June against the Blue Jays. That tied his career high. Rich Dubie's been hoping for one of those games for Lee. He thought he had it the last time against the Dodgers, where everything he threw was picture perfect. Tonight there have been times where he's been strong, but he has given up 11 hits. He had a run of 10 in a row, retired from the end of the first through the fourth, but since that time has not worked a 1-2-3 inning, and has now given up single runs in each of the last 3 innings. Curveball hit in the air deep to left field, and that one is not coming back. A 2-run shot. It's now 6-1 Milwaukee. These are some long home runs.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
She's right, and that's going to be it for Cliff Lee. Charlie Manuel's going to come out and lift his left-hander. Well, this has been one of those nights for Cliff. He's had nights like this year. He's had nights where he's been in line for the victory and hasn't been able to finish it off. And there have been a handful of nights where he's given up some runs. Tonight is one of those nights. He's tied his career high in hits allowed. He'll check out of the ball game. The Phillies down 6-1. It's at AT&T. Call the pen. This summer, we have a challenge for you. Send a photo of you wearing your Fanatic Dangle hat while home or away, traveling or at your favorite summer spot, and you can be featured on Phillies.com. Let's spread the Fanatic's popularity around the globe. Send photos to Fanatic Frenzy at mobilebullpen.com. Michael Schwimmer is the new pitcher for the Phillies, and he throws a breaking ball for a strike to Corey Hart. Well, that is a super duper dangle hat right there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Wheels, did you bring a dangle hat to Cooperstown and get a photo with you and Tim McCarver with the dangle hat?
Oh, yeah, he'd have appreciated that.
Well, certainly not the best of nights for Cliff Lee. 12 hits, 6 runs, 4 home runs allowed.
No, it's hard to say what happened there. You know, all of a sudden balls were in the middle of the plate and they were crushing them. Although it looked like they hit 2 breaking balls out, 2 curveballs for home runs.
Ramirez, I think, definitely did.
And Braun, maybe.
Braun's almost looked like it was a cutter.
Was it?
Yeah.
It just, I couldn't tell. It just like it had a lot of loop and it was down.
Schwimmer picks up a strikeout to start his outing here in the 8th. It's hard to figure out what's going on with him. You know, he just has these games and then he has other games where
things are going along, and then all of a sudden he gets hit and he can't stop it. You know, when he gets into a situation, sometimes it just mushrooms on him, and normally it's with a run, but in this case it was boom, boom, boom.
We've seen it, you know, in his 2 tours of duty with the Phillies on a couple different instances. There have been spurts, but nothing like this.
No, not where he can't stop it this many times.
Oh, and 1 the count to Ricky Weeks. He's 0 for 3. In the dirt. That got Carlos on the arm or the shoulder.
And that bounced way in front of the plate. Carlos Ruiz, well, he's trying to block it. He's also trying to not get smoked by it, and it hits him right in the bicep. He really needs that.
Down with the next pitch, 2-1. Final game of the series tomorrow afternoon at 1:10. Phillies Festival will take place on Thursday as Ricky Weeks sends it to right. Hunter Pence comes in. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Speaking of Phillies charities, the Phillies Festival will take place this Thursday. Gates will open at 4 p.m. here at the ballpark. And there are some tickets still available if you want to purchase them. $15 for autographs as you come to the yard. All proceeds will benefit the ALS chapter, the Philadelphia chapter of ALS, as Maldonado waves at the 1-0. It's 1-1. Great cause. We'll be out there. Wheels, you're going to be doing every role's a winner.
Love every role's a winner because everybody is a winner.
Yeah.
And what's better than that? Jack Buck used to say that's a winner.
Outside, it's 2-1. There is no dunk tank this year.
They used to do that
at the Vet. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was.
Larry did it. Did you do it? No. You sure you didn't do it?
Positive.
Ground ball to third, off Wigginton, and into shallow left field. That'll be the 10th error of the year for Ty. 2-out base runner. It brings Cesare's Torres to the plate.
Many years we had that dunk tank.
It was at the Vet. I don't think it was here at all.
No. It's never been here. It wasn't. It didn't last for long. That's a very hard hit ground ball. It took a little bit of a hop, but obviously a play that third baseman has to make and an error.
Cesare's Torres is 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. Travis Ishikawa is out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for the Brewers.
Remember the night Larry did that? His lips were blue because it was kind of cold that night.
I think I did it one time. It was cold. It was cold.
Did you do that?
I think I did.
How could you not remember?
I don't know why, but I vaguely remember that I did it.
It's not like you have a lot of times in your life that you've done that, have you?
I have done it a couple other times.
Well, come to think of it, knowing you probably have. more than once.
I have.
Yeah, that's your MO. I can just see it.
Inside, it's 2-1. Remember it being down the right field line at the Vet.
That's where it was. But one night it was a little chilly, and anybody who was doing it, they had the blue lips that night. Kind of like clown lips.
Off the hands, caught by Rollins. Out at shortstop. Phillies give up 3 runs in the inning, 2 home runs, 1 a solo shot, the other a 2-run shot. Cliff Lee will sit and watch as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It Phil's down 5. series. They've now gone to their bullpen as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Friday, August 3rd, the Phillies start a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 night games and then a day game. That day game was originally a TBA. So if you're planning on coming out to the ball game, it is now a 1:35 start, which is, I think, what everybody anticipated. Your tickets can be purchased at Phillies.com. There are seats still available for all 3 of those games against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have announced that they are not going to trade Justin Upton. He had been rumored to been on the trading block, but they've decided to keep him. Jose Veras on in relief of Zach Greinke, who went 7 solid innings tonight. And this was a really good outing for him. A guy had an ERA of just under 11 in his previous 3 starts.
He pitched here like he normally pitches at home, which is lights out. He was really good tonight. Retired, 14 in a row? 14 in a row after the single by Jimmy Rollins in the 3rd. The only run the Phillies got was on the broken bat 2-out single by Ryan Howard in the 1st inning.
Ty Wigginton, John Mayberry, and then a pinch hitter for Michael Schwimmer. As Jeremy Horst is loosening in the pen. Wigginton struck out his first time up, grounded out his last time at the plate. And he nubs it foul. It's 0-1. There's Horst. Looks like he'll pitch the 9th inning. Zach Greinke only threw 87 pitches.
Yeah. Now they have the big lead right now, so I guess they figure that's enough. Although last night they had a little bit of a lead and they coughed it up. This one just doesn't feel the same. But last night didn't look like they were going to come from behind
at this
either.
point, I don't think last night felt this way either. No. Phillies were able to get a little bit of life late in the game in the 7th when they scored a run.
Well, that home run derby they just put on really can take the starch out of you a little bit. Those were some blasts.
Base hit to left field. Oh, here we go. Maybe going to the bullpen will help the Phils.
Well, you have to figure the Phillies are happy that Greinke's out of the game because he just dominated it tonight.
As John Mayberry comes to the plate, it's time for our Liberty Mutual defensive play of the game.
Yeah, it's a tough year for Ricky Weeks. This guy can't buy a hit, and he smoked that ball. A sinking, hooking line drive, and a nice play by Big John.
Liberty Mutual Insurance responsibility. What's your policy? Wigginton's base hit. It ends an 0 for 18 stretch for him. And Mayberry takes outside. It's 1-0. Mayberry has grounded out twice. Short lead for Wigginton off first. That's a tough pitch. Down and away. Must have gotten a little black on the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. Manny Parra is warming up in the bullpen for the Brewers. Lance Nix is on deck, so he may be in there for Nix. He's the one who started the issues for the Brewers last night in the 7th inning when he allowed a run. Barris last year pitched for the Pirates. He was 2-4 with an ERA of 3.8. He pitched in 79 games. He's been in the major leagues with the Yankees, with the Indians, with the Marlins, which is where the Phillies saw him often. And then last year with the Pirates, now with the Brewers. Ready for the 1-2 pitch is Mayberry.
Fastball, breaking ball, split finger pitch. He uses it as his changeup. And Tom Silva's seen him a lot over the years. He's a guy who can run on a little bit, but 5-run game, you're not going to be running much.
There's Chase Utley hoping for another chance, just like last night. off the plate. That's going to be a tough play. Weeks comes in, bare hands, throws, and he got John Mayberry. That's a good play by Ricky Weeks. Up to second goes Ty Wigginton.
A really under control play by Ricky Weeks, because he has to judge everything on this. He knows it's his ball. Now what he's hoping is he gets a big hop. He's going to get his feet set. He got the big hop that he wanted, and now he can fire it because his feet are in perfect position to throw. If he gets a low hop there, if that ball doesn't come up, he's not going to get it, but because it hopped up to him, he gets it.
Oh, Ron Reddick's coming out. He's going to make a double switch. Manny Parr has been loosening in the bullpen. So with Lance Nix already announced as a pinch hitter, he'll take out Varys, bring in the lefty, and make an adjustment to his defense. So Brian Onora has the lineup card out. They're coordinating. Manny Parr is ready to come in for a second straight night. Phillies down by 5, trying to make some noise here at the ballpark. In January of this year from the Chicago Cubs, and Manny Parr, who was in last night's ball game, well, he's going to enter tonight's game. Lance Nix had already been introduced as a pinch hitter, but Charlie Manuel's going to bring Nix back, and he's going to bring Eric Kratz out to pinch hit. So instead of the lefty, they'll bring in the right-hander Eric Kratz. Bianchi was named the Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year his senior season. He went to I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Wheels. You might need to help me with this. Lampeter, Strasburg.
Lampeter.
Lampeter. It is Lampeter.
That's out near Lancaster, I believe.
Okay. So he's at shortstop. He'll bat ninth. So he'll hit ninth for the Brewers. And the pitcher's spot is now the 8 hole as these Torres is taken out. Eric Kratz just let Brian Onora know that he's going to pinch hit. Kratz scored the game-winning run last night. Did a nice job. Went back, tagged up, hustled down the line, got in ahead of the throw. His 2 hits this year are home runs. He's got a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the 8th. Boy, a run here would be big. 2 would be even bigger. In the air to left center field. He has 3 hits now this season, and all 3 are home runs. A 2-run shot for Eric Kratz, and he's just made this a 3-run game. The Brewers lead is down to 3, 6-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's pretty amazing, man. 3 hits, 3 home runs. And you can see what Ron Reddick's trying to do right there. He wanted to prevent a long ball, so he figured, well, I'm going to take my chances with Kratz instead of Nix. And doesn't Kratz take him out on the first pitch he sees? That first pitch homer's big here tonight.
Big time.
There he goes, trying to get ahead. And Erik Kratz is really strong. And when he nails one, it jumps.
So Carla Goldsberry of Wilmington, you've won $100. Compliments of Erik Kratz. He's had a good couple of nights.
Well, that woke everybody up.
It did, and now the Phil's down by just 3. We say that because it is just 3 runs.
No, that's what happened last night.
Kratz's second career pitch hit home run.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the ones that the manager knows. He's going to pick his matchup there. He didn't want Veras and next as opposed to, say, Power and Kratz. Phillies win the battle.
Wanted 1 the count to Rollins. Fouls it away. It's 1-2. Maybe the Phillies can get something going at the top of the order here with just 1 out.
Yeah, now you just start trying to get some men on. And never know. The way the ball's jumping out of this place tonight, this baby is not over.
To left field. It's going to hang up there for Ryan Braun. Two away. For that home run that Erik Kratz just hit, and each one hit by the Phils this season, 1 tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phils, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of Plant 1 Million. For more information, visit Phillies.com/red goes green.
Well, now they have it into a save situation for the Brewers, so it'll be interesting to see where they go.
They made it seem that as long as he could pitch, that Frankie Rodriguez would be the closer.
Right, and he was very apologetic about blowing the game last night. And with all that stretching he was doing out there earlier, he sure thinks he's going to pitch in again tonight.
0-1 the count to Victorino. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now he has to think, and they have to think, we can't be as bad as he was last night.
I mean, they said that he hasn't been as bad as he was last night, but look at his last 3 appearances, 6 walks. Ooh, late call from Brian Onora. Fans getting on Brian Onora, asking if that was a strike also.
Get around about a 55-footer. That's what that was. That was way out in front of the plate. Look at Maldonado sell out here too. What a great job he does. And the reason he does that is because there's 2 strikes, and maybe Shane swings at that. You want to try and block it so you get the strikeout as opposed to strikeout wild pitch. Great job by the catcher. Cuddy told him he wanted to split her down, throw it in the dirt, to get it up near me before it's in the dirt. Another one. Another off-speed, it looked like. Throwing that off-speed pitch, you say it's a splitter. Using it as a change-up, trying to get a strikeout, I guess.
The count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch from Parra. A high ball 4. Lefty on lefty as Utley's coming up.
That's what he did when he came in last night. He was all over the place.
Last night he walked Utley.
Especially with his fastball.
Phillies began play tonight. 11 games under 500, 14 games back in the East. Trying to make some late game noise again.
Yeah, done it 2 games in a row.
In the dirt, 1-0. Figure Chase is going to be up there to take a strike. Cameron Lowe starts the throw.
In the game when the manager's down there, and we have no idea why Greinke left the game after 7 innings. That's their decision down there. But after it happens, then the guy's thinking, I ought to be able to get 6 out with a 5-run lead out of my bullpen. Now Ron Renicke's there going, oh man, this is not looking good again.
The oddity of it, and again, Ron Renicke's the only one who knows why he lifted him, is that he hadn't pitched in 11 days. He had thrown just 87 pitches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't know, until you're around a club or talk to the manager later. Pitching coach, they have reasons for everything they do. We may not agree with them, may not work, but they have a reason. They just don't fire on things.
Low ball 3. It's 3-0. Charlie Manuel mentioned last night that one of the more impressive things that he thought, the fact that Chase Utley walked 3 times in the game. The Phillies walked 9 times overall last night.
Well, Chase is trying to get Howard up there as a tie-in run. And Parra has 2 more hitters, just like last night, because Lowe's up for Ruiz.
And he is the only lefty.
Yeah, and remember in the 9th inning, they, when K-Rod, I don't know if they'd have taken him out if they had a lefty, but they didn't have one because they'd used Parra up.
Corey Hart is off the bag at first.
That's a good job by Chase Utley. He's trying everything he can to get on base, get Ryan Howard up there with a tying run. And he's not afraid to take a couple strikes.
So Victorino will take off on the pitch. Hart plays behind him. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Utley. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Outside, ball 4, first and second. The tying run's coming to the plate.
That's really a strange pitch to throw. When you get Ryan Howard on deck as a tying run and you throw a 3-2 curveball, he hits a home run there at 6-5. But now you walk him, and now you've kept the momentum going in this inning and everything. They may get out of it. It may work out. That's a strange pitch to throw right there. And it's a 3-2 breaking ball. Hey, he may have swung at it. He may have chased it. It may have been a called third. But that's a challenge situation, I think. Unless they just feel, all right, we have one more left-handed hitter up there. The catcher does, and I'm okay with this. We can go get Ryan Howard, and that's their decision.
Ryan Howard did strike out against Parra in last night's ball game. For his career, Howard is 2 for 8 against Parra with 4 RBIs. So the tying run's at the plate. Phillies have scored 2 in the inning.
It's fun. They're picking up the fuss here. It just didn't feel like this was going to happen tonight. But it has, and Kratz is the reason why. He woke everybody up.
Cliff Lee is hoping for a few more runs.
Yeah, he always sticks around no matter what happens.
Howard takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
No surprise there. Starts him with a breaking ball. Good job by Ryan Howard. Maybe he's taking all the way, or maybe he just saw it out of his hand. Once he getting the fastball count.
Two-0.
That's another one.
Ruiz is on deck. Lowe will come in to pitch to Ruiz.
Right. I don't know. You think, is this a fastball count? No, 2-0. There's Lowe. This is the guy's last hitter. So does he give in at all? Still has a base open with 2 outs.
2-0 the count. Nope. Throws a breaking pitch. It's 3-0.
Yeah, that's what the thinking is right now. I mean, he doesn't want to walk him, but they can.
Ryan Howard has been presented with green lights throughout his career. I still think he's going to be taken here, don't you?
Yes, I think he's going to get 3-0 breaking ball.
Runners go. Pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to second sails, and now second and third. What do they do now? They just walk him?
Oh, yeah. Well, he threw a breaking ball for 4 straight curveballs. It'll be interesting to see if they think that way. They go for the trail guy there. No, they're going to pitch to him, but it'll probably be another hook.
Oh, man. That was a splitter. Ryan said that's not a strike.
Not a strike, man. He looked up and in.
Sure did.
They're playing the second baseman a little further over, or the shortstop a little further over tonight than they did last night because you got a left-hander.
Ryan fouls it, and it remains 3-2. Had a swing at it because it was basically the same pitch that he saw 3-1, although I think that one was closer to the plate.
Well, that's a changeup. He still hasn't seen a fastball in this at bat. That one hit Brian O'Nora.
Phillies down by 3. Tying run at the plate. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, I think it hit him. No, it hit the bat. Hit something.
Yeah, it comes running in. It's ball 4. He's trying to get out of the way, and it hits the bat right there.
Huge hole just to the right of second base for Howard. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. He did take a look back at the home plate umpire just in case.
Kept throwing that split or change up, whatever it is. And, now they got to go to Cameron Lowe.
Matty Parra has walked 3 hitters in this inning. He's allowed a 2-run home run.
Just what he did last night. Curveball low. Curveball low. This is a recording. Curveball high. He gets this one over when the runners go. That's a strike. Then it looked like he started to throw some splits here. There was one he got a call on it for a strike. And there's a foul that hits O'Nora. There's another one hits Ryan's bat. And now that one comes inside. So great job by Ryan Howard. You see that pitch is inside. And thankfully they didn't call him out on it.
So the Milwaukee Brewers are making another pitching change. Matty Parra's evening is complete. Ryan Howard has pitched run 4. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we get back. A 2-run home run. Now the bases are loaded, and Carlos Ruiz, whose numbers after the 7th inning are some of the best in baseball, will get a chance to bat against Cameron Lowe in his 42nd game. Earned run average of 3.86. Now, he's had 4 save opportunities during the course of the season. He's blown all 4. Now, whether they've all happened in the 9th inning and the 8th inning, who knows? But he is a sinker ball pitcher. And Carlos Ruiz is focusing on what he may get with these first couple pitches.
Yeah, for a sinker ball pitcher, 42 innings, 5 home runs. That's a lot of home runs for a sinker baller in 42 innings.
Victorino's over at third. Utley's at second, and Mike Fontenot is pinch running for Ryan Howard.
It's a tremendous at bat by Ryan Howard. Both Chase Utley and Ryan Howard.
Papelbon is starting to warm up in the pen. There's Cliff Lee. He's hoping for a few more runs here to take himself off the hook. Carlos Ruiz is ready, and the pitch to him. A slider away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Hey, you know, you look at it and you say, well, they're giving you a base runner. No, the Phillies have had some good at bats in this inning.
Absolutely.
To get these walks.
Hit foul. That was the sinker. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's what this guy usually tries to do, is come in and sink it, make it hit the top of the ball.
A ball in the gap to left center or right center should score Fontenot. With 2 outs, he's going on the crack of the bat, and he's going to get a good lead because Hart's off the line, so he'll lead out toward him a little bit.
Yeah, they're not holding him on.
Now time is called.
Amazing how windy it is here tonight. They're keeping their outfielders really, really deep. It's amazing how deep they are in right field on the offside too. See how deep? Look at this out here. But they're saying, all right, we're going to give the ball up in front for a 6-5 game, but we're not going to try and keep it out of the alleys.
1-2 the count to Ruiz. Carlos lifts it in the air, left center field. That's going to split the gap. It's going to go to the wall. 2 runs will score. Here comes Fontenot. He's going to score, and the Phillies have tied it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. How about Carlos Ruiz? It's a 6-6 game here at Citizens Bank Park, and I hope you didn't leave.
5-run inning. Amazing. That looked like a hanging slider, and they're trying to play no doubles, but there's not much you can do about this for no doubles. The breaking ball. I love it when Carlos says about a slider, you hang it, I bang it. That's what he did right there. Cliff Lee, no to see.
Carlos Ruiz, a career-high 55 RBIs, and now the go-ahead run is at second for Hunter Pence.
What a killer is that for the Brewers? Those were all walks that just came flying across the plate.
Jonathan Papelbon firing away in the bullpen. He's coming in no matter what. The 0-1 pitch to Pence. Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. I'll say this much. They may be in last place and have been for a while, but these last few nights have been reminiscent of the old Phillies.
That's been a heartbeat.
At the knees, 1-2. Others thinking that might be a little low. It was close. Ron Reddick, his starter, had thrown 87 pitches, was unhittable.
Really?
And was lifted as we went to the bottom of the 8th.
Well, that'll be question number 1 for him tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, there'll be a few of that. There'll be follow-ups. Well, if they were here, there would be.
Now time is called. Maldonado asked for time.
And they bring Papelbon into a tie game. He's all loosened up out there.
Or with a lead.
Or even better with a lead. That's amazing. You know, the Phillies are going a little bit better right now. You figure you get bases loaded on walks with 2 outs, and then they play a no doubles, don't hit it over my head defense, and he smokes one in the alley, but there's nothing you can do about it. And they weren't holding Fontenot on. I don't think it would have mattered. So that ball went anyway.
By the time the ball was at the wall, he was already at third.
Yeah, sometimes they'll hold the guy on just for that reason.
1-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, a flare toward right field. Weeks is going out. He can't get it! The go-ahead run will score. It's an RBI bloop single for Hunter Pence. And the Phillies have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Can you say remarkable?
That's all that. Hit him hard, hit him soft, doesn't matter right now. They got a little something going. First time all year. Look at those Brewers fans. They're shaking their head like, where's Greinke? Hunter Pence has one of those Hunter Pence swings of a slider. Everything exits, but he has that long reach. Ricky Weeks can't get there. Sammy knows he's got him coming all the way with 2 outs. You gotta be kidding me.
Ty Wigginton now the batter.
Bat around, huh?
The 10th man to bat in the inning, and he started it with a leadoff single.
All saw this coming.
Let's give Eric Kratz a whole heck of a lot of credit. His pinch hit home run brought this place to life again.
He woke everybody up with that. It was all of a sudden, it was just dead. That was a pitch out. It was almost a strike.
You know what, Wigginton, if he took a whack at that, he would have cracked Maldonado right in the head.
It startled him. Everything about that was out of sync. You look back, they make the double switch to stay away from Nix and a long ball. Kratz hits it, hits the home run off the double switch with a new pitcher, and boom, off they go from there. It's a great game. You never know,
remarkable nights.
How about at a 9 spot in the 8th? Go back to these walks in this inning. They were some real good at bats.
3 walks in the inning. The Phillies hadn't walked the entire night.
Right.
Greinke had retired 14 consecutive batters, and he was lifted from the game.
See the runs the Phillies scored in the 8th and 9th inning. The last now Renick's in there going, boy, everything I do right now is napalm.
3-0 pitch to Wigginton. Sounds strange, but he may have had the green light there. I was talking to Charlie about some of his sides. He said sometimes I may just tell him to swing away. And I thought he did there.
Could have. Everything else is going right. We got that overshift on him again.
Pence goes, pitches low. Pence will swipe second. Oh no, it's ball 4. Excuse me. I thought he called it a strike. So the 4th walk of the inning. Hunter Pence at second base.
Boy, the Brewers such a good team last year. You know, the Phillies have struggled through so much stuff this year where nothing goes right at times. They're going through it right here in the last 2 nights.
Honestly, they're going through it the last 4 games. They've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah. Well, you know, it'd be great to be able to win this thing, but these are games where you look and go, you got to be kidding me.
John Mayberry grounded out his only time up in this inning. I say his only time up. His other time up. I guess the optimist in me is expected that he's going to bat another time.
Well, it's a manager going out to the mound to get the pitcher, and the pitcher says, come on, Skip, I got him out last time I faced him. The manager says, yeah, but it's the same inning. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, and he got him out about 44 pitches ago.
Yeah.
The 1-0 pitch to Mayberry. Over to third. It's 1-1. Boy, get Eric Kratz back up here again. Let him hear the crowd. It's a guy who took a long time getting up to the major leagues and made his major league debut last year with the Pirates.
Well, Renick makes that decision.
2 years ago with the Pirates.
Yeah, and Renick makes that decision that he didn't want the right-hander pitching the next. Probably didn't want to stay away from a home run. And it turns out he brings the other guy in. Bam. Home run. Now, and Kratz gets power.
Over to shortstop. And Bianchi will end the inning, but what an inning it was. Probably the most exciting inning of the season for the Philadelphia Phillies. They scored 6 runs in the inning to erase a 5-run deficit. Carlos Ruiz tied it up with a 3-run double, and he scored the go-ahead run. Now it's time for Jonathan Papelbon. You want an adrenaline rush? Well, he's going to have it when we come back for the ninth. Eighth inning alone, the 3 runs for the Brewers, the 6 runs for the Phillies. Phillies have taken lead 7-6. It's Phillies postgame live. It's presented by Cure Auto Insurance. I mean, there's so many things that happened in that inning alone that Michael Barkett and Ben Davis could talk for an hour. I don't want to keep them in the studios that long, but they could talk for an hour about it. Ty Wigginton moves from third base over to first base. Mike Fontenot, who came out as a pinch runner for Ryan Howard, stays in the ballgame to play third. And Jonathan Papelbon trying to pick up his 22nd save of the year. He's ready to go. That's the signal to throw down. So he'll throw one more pitch, and he'll get set to face 9-1-2. 9 was scheduled to be Jeff Bianchi, who's 0 for his last 11. But George Kataris, one of the catchers for the Brewers, is going to come out and pinch hit because he's a left-handed batter. So Kataris will bat for Bianchi. It's 7-6 Phillies. Brewers have hit 4 home runs tonight. In fact, after their 4th home run, I think a lot of folks went to the exits. It was 6-1. The Phillies weren't doing a whole lot against Zach Greinke, and I think everybody expected that Greinke would finish the game.
That was an amazing display of power where you think, oh, in your face. It's always a little bit hot right there.
Fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Whole thing is you got to finish it off.
Listen to the crowd. It is great to hear. Oh, and 1 the count.
People driving home again going, darn, or something like that.
Outside, 1-1. Livan Hernandez warming in the Brewers pen.
You're talking about a guy keeps rolling along, huh?
He's going to be wearing Gaylord Perry's jersey soon with all the names of the teams on it.
Yeah.
Kataris, Aoki, and Gomez against Papelbon. A 1-1 pitch. On the outside corner, 94.
Used to be a guy named Suitcase Simpson. I'm trying to think of his first name, but that's
Joe
what they.
Suitcase Simpson?
Not Joe. They used to call him that because he had so many stickers on his suitcase.
Swing and a miss. He got it with 94.
That's what closer lives for. You said, Tom, an adrenaline rush, and that's what these guys get. It really makes them good. And this is the game should give you an adrenaline rush after watching your team take the lead like that. And Jonathan Papelbon has come in with some cheese. Just blew him away there.
And now Aoki. It was 1 for 3.
They're moving Mayberry over a little bit, moving John towards the line a little bit, you know, because this guy might just hit the ball that way. Moving Shane over towards left center field. Fontenot towards the line a little bit.
On the hands, right center field, not deep. Here comes Pence, here comes Victorino, and it's Victorino who makes the last call to make the catch. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Phillies have not won a home series since they beat the Colorado Rockies. 2 out of 3, the 19th and 20th. And then lost the 21st here at Citizens Bank Park of June. So it's been a little more than a month. Carlos Gomez, the batter. He homered his last time up. Everybody on their feet. 43,745. Papelbon is ready. Inside, 1-0. There's a strike at 96 miles an hour. You want to talk about an amped up closer right now. It's 1-1. Listen to chants of "Let's go Phillies" in between pitches.
Papelbon he is so amped up right now. He wants to keep that fastball out of the middle of the plate. Keep it away from Gomez, who wants to pull here. See, Carlos set up away.
Outside, 2-1.
Really want to make this guy beat you the other way if he does. Not middle into it.
Cliff Lee off the hook tonight. Big old collective hug for his teammates. Papelbon set again. The 2-1 pitch coming to Gomez. Swing and a foul tip. He was swinging for the parking lot over left field.
He's not looking for a single. I'm saying stay away from him. He's going to get him out.
Play off his aggressiveness.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's wide open. Everything. The first move is open up to hit the ball in the ballpark. You stay away from him, he's not going to get you.
The count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Everybody set all the way around the pitch. On the inside corner, a called strike 3. And the improbable comeback for the Phillies is complete. They win it tonight by a final score of 7-6. They scored 6 runs in their half of the 8th inning to wipe away a 5-run deficit. They win it 7-6, and Jonathan Papelbon slams the door. And the Phillies have taken the first 2 against the Brewers, and they have finally won a series here at Citizens Bank Park.
And it sounded like Citizens Bank Park here tonight, the way they got the crowd into it. Said stay away, stay away, stay away. Look where he goes. Right on the inside part of the plate with a called third. Maybe he's thinking he's not going to come in there, and he did. Boy, he came right. Look at that little guy. He knows, hey, it's over. That's the way it used to be, wasn't it, Dad?
That's the way it used to be. That's the way it will be again. 7-6 the final score. The Phillies have won it. The Chevrolet players of the game, the Phillies offense, 4 hits, 4 walks, 6 runs in the 8th inning alone. And let's face it, it all got started with Eric Kratz's 2-run pitch hit home run. There was life in the ballpark after that home run.
It just woke everybody up, Tom, when he hit that home run. There's no doubt about it. Here he comes up. It's still 6-1. There's an out. There's a man on. Eric gets the first pitch he sees from Parr, and bam! Here comes Carlos Ruiz. Bases loaded. No doubles defense. He finds a spot where it's going to be an extra base hit and clears it. Then Hunter Pence. What do you say about that? Breaking ball away. Reaches out there and pops it off the end of the bat in no man's land. And those are kind of things, when you're going good, you get them.
Phillies have won 3 straight games in their final at-bat. Eric Kratz got it all started. He's down on the field with Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, T-Mac, he certainly did get it all started. Last night it was with your wheels, but tonight in a more conventional manner, you do it with your bat, a first pitch that really woke this crowd up, woke maybe your teammates up a little bit, and started that rally. How good did it feel to hit that one out?
Oh, for sure. It was good. I got a fastball that I could hit, and fortunately I was able to put the barrel on it.
3 straight games where this team wins in their final at bat, and you're starting to see signs of this team making a run. Just talk about what this clubhouse is like right now, as each and every night you're walking off and getting these kind of wins.
Yeah, for sure. You're a lot happy when you're winning. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, winning makes you happy, but it definitely amps up the clubhouse a little bit, gives us a chance to stay in every game. Tonight there was more fans that stayed. Just in case we came back, and last night we did it, tonight we did it, and it's not one guy. Everybody did it. You got to give a lot of credit to Greinke. He threw a great game, and nobody hung their heads. Everybody came back out, and we just kept fighting.
6 runs in that 8th inning. 5 of them come out of the catcher's position. Just talk about what Chooch has been able to do as well as he drives that one into the gap.
I mean, I told him I don't even cheer when he gets hits anymore. That one I cheered because that was a big one. But I told him, I mean, it's just every night he's barreling balls up. He's out there fighting for his pitchers every night. And I mean, you can't say. You just got to watch him play. You can't say anything about him.
All right, Eric. Congratulations on another good win. All right, guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. The final out, it was adrenaline. It was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it was right on the inside part of the plate. He was loving it. He's been looking for an opportunity like this. He gets it. The Phillies close it out. They win it 7-6. We'll be back right after this.